You know what? Maybe I'm the official spokesperson for the No campaign. Maybe you are, Joel. Maybe you are, Blair. Who are these
Yeah, but
people to declare themselves the official
I've
campaign?
appointed you two and
We're all
myself as the
citizens.
official. Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Well,
this is
this
the
is
official.
It's a
exactly
We
citizens
don't
why.
referendum.
endorse Warren
We're all
Mundine.
citizens. This
We
is the
don't
This is exactly
endorse
why I put in that
Jacinta
bracket there.
Price.
That's why I put in that bracket there. Am I coming through? Okay, my voice isn't
Yeah, you
doing the
are.
robot thing.
No,
In
you
the
are.
bracket there after the far right, that's why I put in there. When you hear the phrase far right, what you should, visualize isn't some, underground cell network of like, terrorists or someone who's actually a threat to people or something like that. It's just like workers with phones. Because I'm apparently one of the most iconic, still, without even trying to be, most iconic far right personalities in Australia. But I'm just a working class guy with a phone. I don't even have a laptop at the moment, right? That's all I am. I'm just a guy, and that's all anyone on the far right ever really seems to be. They're just working class with basic common sense
Yeah.
perspectives. Don't want to see their children raped by immigrants. Don't want their country flooded by immigrants against their will. Common sense stuff, right? But apparently that makes us far right.
At the No campaign, another quick story. Jeez, this one's the best. At the No rally, we marched from Parliament House in plain clothes all the way down, like not in the black bloc, not in the evil Nazis in black bloc, just in plain clothes. We marched down with the No rally down to Flinders Street Station. And when we got there, we started changing the black bloc and we had the banner ready and we were going to unveil it on the march back. And so there's photos of us marching with the big banner out saying voice equals anti-white. And this lady came over to us and started handing out leaflets. A lot of people approached us. A lot of people recognized us. They knew what we were about to do before we did it and they were supportive. And this lady came up to us and was handing out leaflets. And the leaflets were for something called the New Left. And she said, we're the new left. We don't like the direction the left are going. We're anti-vax, but we're also very left-wing. And we are for the working class, but we don't believe in woke ideology. And I said, oh, okay, are you a Marxist? And because she looked like a Marxist, she looked like a leftist academic type. She looked maybe 50 years old, works a university job. And she recoiled straight away, like, well, yes, I am a Marxist, but not everyone in the New Left is I mean, I'm personally a Marxist, but the New Left isn't Marxism. There are some Marxists in it, but most Marxists have gone down the wrong path, and that's not real Marxism, like woke ideology. We're the New Left, so we want to bring it back to just the working class. And then we talked back and forth, and I brought up the Holodomor, and I brought up the fact that the Soviet Union killed all these people. And she started discussing, Leninist and Marxist theory with me. And then she clicked. She clicked, and she worked out who we were because we all started getting changed around her, and the boys were all surrounding her. And she looked, and she went, white wristband, white wristband, white wristband, white wristband. She goes, sorry, I got no stand. She goes, you're the NSN. You're the NSN boys. You're Thomas Sewell. Oh, am I going to get bashed? And I was like, no, if you're civil with us, we'll have a civil conversation with you. Like, we're not going to hurt you. Like, the only time there's ever violence is because, Jesus, the only time there's ever violence is because somebody attacks us. I said, you're not attacking us. You're being polite and respectful. So we'll be polite and respectful back to you. And she goes, but you're a Nazi. You guys are Nazis. And I'm like, yes, yeah, I'm a National Socialist. Yeah, sure. And then she was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Isn't it so incredible that the only people you can talk to in all of Australia that actually understand Marxist-Leninist theory are Nazis? I've talked to everyone here and no one knows what I'm talking about. And the only people that are actually politically literate at the moment are not. This is fascinating. And that's what she was saying. It was just so funny. And then she started lecturing us about how, but wait a minute, what I don't understand about you guys, what I don't understand is because you would agree with that you're a fascist, right? And I was like, I don't describe myself as a fascist, but yes, it's a similar ideology. Let's say I'm a fascist, okay? I'm not going to argue with you. And she goes, well, she says to me, this is word for word. She goes, but fascism is about smashing the working class. So why would you be for smashing the working class? And I said to her, I goes, look at my hands. Sorry, Jesus. I said, look at my hands. And next to me was Mikkel and Nathan and Tim. And we showed her our hands. We're all standing there in a circle. And we said, look at our hands. We are the working class. Look at the cuts on my hands. I am a worker. What do you mean smashing the working class? I am the working class. Like, I'm a laborer. Like, what do you do for a job? And she's just like, oh, but wait a minute. No. You guys aren't the working class. I'm like, how? How are we? I'll fix it. how are we not the working class? And she goes, well, technically, you're not the working class because technically, do you have a boss? Like, because the working class really is, it's not about doing manual labor. It's about, and did all this mental gymnastics and try to explain how we're not actually the working class. We're actually anti-working class, despite the fact that we're working class, because we don't abide by her exact Marxist, neo-Marxist framework of how the working class was. Anyway, she walked off. She went and told the police where we were, and the police started kettling us and then trying to remove us from the rally. And that's when we pulled the banner around. And long story short, it was a lot of fun. But I wish one of the boys with the camera, I wish he took the photo of us debating the Marxists, and we're showing her the cuts on our hands and saying, look at our hands, like we are the working class. And so you meet an actual Marxist in real life and you show them that you're a working class man and this is what you believe, that you're upset about being replaced in your country, that our wages are being driven down. Like, look at all the trades that are full of Indians or Chinese. Like, they're getting paid half of what we're getting paid, and that's coming to us next. And we don't want this to keep happening. We want to, like, we're getting pushed out of the housing market, we're getting pushed out of the rental market. All this sort of stuff. And they just say to you, but you're not actually, by our framework, you're not the working class.
Yeah, no, that's always the case with Marxists because it would be so simple to say, well, we want to stand. We recognize there's a certain amount of exploitation in the economy, that there is an elite. Let's go to the people who are actually the victims of all of these processes and see how they feel about it, and then derive that would be populism or something like that. Let's derive a politics from the common sense of the people, the traditions of the people, or what have you. But that's what Marxism is about. Marxism is literally just about saying to the working class, well, you guys are idiots. You don't act all this stuff that you care about, religion, race, ethnicity, tradition, all of this stuff is nonsense. You should only care about Marxism, which says that you aren't anything except a worker. And that's only relevant insofar as you're going to be organized into a political movement against the current ruling class, and everything else is BS. And it's like, well, then wait a second. Why are we even having a revolution then? If we're not having a revolution on behalf of me and who I actually am, if you have to kind of deracinate me, purge me of all tradition, characteristics, and culture before I can become the revolutionary agent, why am I even doing the revolution? Like, what even, what even is this at this point? It's a totally inhuman ideology.